Hi, friends. Hi, my name is Becca, and welcome to Get Your Play Online. Today for Sunday Fun Day, we'll be doing a leaf rubbing art reflection activity. Looks like this. And this activity allows us to spend more time exploring nature and thinking about some of the changes that are happening in our lives right now. So, like I said, here's mine. And we're gonna make one together. Alrighty. So before we start, we want to make sure that we've gathered all of our supplies, including your leaves. So I'm going to go through them, okay? So what you need are leaves to start off with. So I'll show you here some of my leaves. You need about 4 to 7 is probably good. Okay, so I got a couple like this. I have one that literally fell right off the tree when I was out there. A couple tiny ones. So you need some leaves like that. And if you don't live in a place that has leaves, you can totally just use fake ones. So some fake ones would look like this. See? Okay, so you're gonna gather your leaves, and then you're also gonna grab a white piece of paper, just a regular old piece of printer paper. Okay, and then you're gonna get some crayons. All right, any colors work. Anywhere from 4 to 7 again. Okay, so I personally picked these kind of fall colors, but you can totally do any color you want. There are so many options, okay? So grab some crayons. Then you're gonna need a black marker. You're gonna need some tape. So I have 2 types of tape. One is regular Scotch tape. There's regular tape that's kind of clear, or you can use painter's tape, which is blue. Whichever one works for you. And then the very last thing you need is some wax paper, okay? You can find this in your kitchen. Just some wax paper, okay? All right, I'll give you guys a couple seconds to make sure you have everything. All right, so now that we have our supplies, we can get started. So first, we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna get our leaves ready, okay? So you're gonna grab some wax paper and you're gonna tape it onto the table. So how much wax paper? Well, I'll show you. You could do about this much. It's probably about, I would say it's a little bit bigger than the size of your white piece of paper. And you just tear it off, okay? So you've got your wax paper. And what you're going to do is you're going to tape it to the table so it doesn't move, okay? So you're going to need a clean space in front of you. So I'll show you what that looks like. So here I have it right here. I personally think that using painter's tape works best because sometimes this tape gets really hard to get off the counter. So I think that the painter's tape just works a little bit better for that, okay? So you're going to tape the wax paper so it's tall like this, or it's wide like this. It doesn't matter. Whatever you feel comfortable with. So I'm going to tape it wide just because I made mine really long. And you can tape it anywhere you want. You can tape it in the corner. You can tape it at the top or the bottom or the sides. I'm just going to do the top and the bottom. You don't need too much. Just a little bit. That way it doesn't go anywhere. Okay? See? Paper's not going anywhere. It's stuck to the table, okay? Give you guys a few moments to do that. Alrighty, now you are going to take your other tape. So I prefer to use the regular Scotch tape for this. And you're going to take your leaf, start with one at a time, and you're going to tape it onto the wax paper by the stem. So you have your leaf here and then your stem at the bottom. And you're going to tape it onto the wax paper. You can have this any size or any side you want. So the veins in the leaf are the part that stick up and are kind of bumpy. You can totally have those facing up, or you can flip it over and have the pretty colorful side on the front. It doesn't matter. I'm going to tape mine with the veins up and just kind of tape it wherever. Okay? So we're going to do it how you think maybe leaves might fall. Leaves fall kind of all over the place. Some of these leaves I have are really, really old and dead. You can see this one's kind of dry and this one's a lot softer. Doesn't matter. You can use whichever kind you like. I'm going to do it like that. And the nice thing about the wax paper is it's going to help us with cleanup too. So it's going to be super easy. Okay. All right, I think I'm going to tape one more. You can see here I have 5 leaves. Okay, any way you want. All right. So I'll give you guys a couple moments to finish that up. All right. So now the next thing you're going to do is you're going to take your white piece of paper and you're just going to plop it right on top of your leaves. Any way you want. It could be like this or like this or like this. Doesn't matter. Since we're not taping down the white piece of paper, you can move it all around. So if you want to work on this leaf first, you can put it like that. And then if you want to work on one over here, you can move it later. So it's totally okay, whatever you want to do. All right. So now that we're ready, we have our white piece of paper on top of our leaves and our leaves taped to our wax paper. We need to choose what colors. So what colors do you normally see when the leaves change in the fall? You can type it in the chat. You know. All right. Yeah, so we have a bunch of different colors here, okay? Some of them are red or orange, maybe yellow, brown, different shades of green, just like my real leaves are here, and even some fake leaves if you had to use fake leaves. There's so many different colors. So I personally just chose some fall leaf colors, but you are more than welcome, like I said at the beginning, to go ahead and choose other fun colors. Blue, purple, pink, totally up to you, okay? So what we're going to do to start is we're going to pick one color to start with, okay? Any color. And one color is going to go for one leaf. Okay, so you're going to place your piece of paper on top of your leaf. And then you're just going to color on top of your paper over the leaf, okay? So I personally think it's best to use the side of the crayon. Lasts a little bit longer. And you should be applying some pressure, but you don't want to push so hard that you accidentally break the crayon, because then you got a broken crayon. So you can push light or hard. And as you push, here, I'll move you guys a little bit closer so we can see. All right, and as you push on it, you will start to see the indentation, so the outline of the leaf on your paper. Can you guys start to see the little lines here? And if you want it to be darker, it doesn't show up as well, you can totally go over it again. You could mix colors. See, I'm not pushing too hard. Okay, now let's see. You see that? See how it shows the indentation of the leaf? Super cool. All right, so now I have that one done. I'm going to pick a different color. How about brown? All right. And I want to do maybe this guy over here. I'm just going to put my paper down and just color. See, I'm not pushing too hard. And if you need some help, you can totally ask a sibling or a friend or a parent or a caregiver to help hold down the piece of paper for you if that will help, or you can tape it down if you find that's easier. Okay, now I've got my brown one. See my leaf? Super cool. Let's go with, how about this guy up here? Okay. What's super cool is you get to see all the different types of leaves that fall in your yard when you go outside to gather your leaves for this, which is super cool. See that one too? See, all of my leaves are kind of different shapes. See, these ones are big. They have like all of these little branches. This one's kind of an oval shape. All right, I'm gonna add a couple more. So I've got this one right here. And if you want, you can do one leaf over and over again. Like if you like one leaf a bunch, you can totally do it over and over. All right. See, look at that. All right, let's go ahead and add one more. The color I haven't done yet, how about yellow? That's the last one I'll do, okay? We'll do that, and I will do this one right here again, because that one was pretty fun. So I just see how I'm lightly kind of going over it. All right, and if you want to make it darker, like yellow is kind of a bright color, so it's kind of hard to see. So I think I might add some orange. Oh, that looks super cool. See that? Look how fun that one turned out. Awesome, so you're going to continue doing that with all your leaves. So I have 5 here, that's perfect. Okay? So now that we have all of our leaves colored, we are going to go ahead and set our crayons aside and set your piece of paper aside. And we're going to go ahead and clean up a little bit. It just makes it a little bit easier, okay? So I like to do it this way. I just undo the tape, okay? Undo the tape from your wax paper, and you just leave these leaves taped on, okay? That way they don't even fall off. And then you just fold it up. Look, no mess, perfect. It's all right there. And then you can just go ahead and toss it in the trash, okay? That way you have a nice clean surface. There's no leaves anywhere. Nothing came apart since it was all taped down, okay? Awesome. Good job. All right, now we are going to take some time and reflect, okay? So you're going to go ahead and grab your paper with your leaves colored on it, and then go ahead and grab your black marker. You can use a different color if you'd like. I just chose black because I think it would show up best on some of the dark colors I used. Okay? All right. So on each leaf, you're going to write something down on top of the leaf or next to it, above it. You're going to write something down in your life that is changing. Okay, so just like how leaves change colors and fall off the trees at this time of year, maybe you have something in your life that's also changing. So what sort of things do you guys think that could be? You can go ahead and throw it in the comments. What sorts of things in your life do you think are changing? Maybe it could be starting a new school. Maybe you just moved, and so you're at a new school with lots of new people this year. That is a huge change. Or maybe you just left elementary school and you're going up to middle school, or you just left first grade and you're going to second grade, so you have a new class. Hey, that's a big change. Maybe you're changing around who your friends are. Maybe you met someone new in your class this year and they're super nice and you love hanging out with them and you never met them before and they're a new friend. You also maybe just started playing a new sport. Maybe soccer started, or basketball, or running, or swimming. So maybe you have a new favorite hobby. So why don't you write down all the different things you can think of, okay, on top of your leaves, okay? So I'll do the same. All right. See how I just wrote mine on top of mine? You can do it like that. You can write it underneath, or you can write it in the space surrounding. Okay. Good job. All right. Give you guys another moment or two. Think about all the different things that could be changing. And what's really cool is if you're doing this with a friend or maybe a sibling's doing this with you right now, you guys could have two completely different looking pages. You could have, I don't know, friends, but the person sitting next to you might not, which is what's kind of cool about this is you can see different things that might be changing in your life. And if you were to do this again, maybe even a week from now, it could be completely different. Okay. So why don't we talk about it? If you feel comfortable with sharing, what are some things that you wrote down? You can go ahead and put them in the chat. So what are some things changing in your life? I'll let you guys share before I do. Okay. So for me, I know a couple of you guys probably said friends. My friends are totally changing. I don't know about you, but sometimes when you have a new class, I'm in a few new classes this year, I have new people that I've met, and they're awesome. So I've made a lot of new friends. So that's something that's changing. What else? Wonder if you put school. Maybe put school. I'm in a new grade, so lots of stuff is different. I'm learning so many new things every single day. Also, my hobbies and activities, things I like to do. I have new things that I learned over the summer that I've definitely wanted to try this fall. So those things are changing in my life, and it changes around my schedule a little bit too. And then I also put weather, because the weather's changing. And that is something that impacts you every day. Okay? So here, I'll get up closer so you guys can see. Whoops. Okay? So we can just kind of talk about it. This is the reflection part of this. Now that we have our leaf rubbing art, we're going to talk about these different things. So how do you feel about these changes? Do any of them make you happy? Or do any of them make you sad? What do you guys think? Yeah, for most of us, we'll probably have changes that do both, that make us happy and make us sad. For instance, school. Okay, that's one of mine. That makes me really happy because I love getting older. I'm learning so many new things. I love going to school. But sometimes it also makes me kind of sad because I really miss my teachers from last year. And sometimes it's nice when you're used to something, right? Or maybe friends. Maybe you have different friends in your class this year, right? Well, that's awesome. You're meeting so many new people. That's great. But maybe you miss your friends from last year. Well, yeah. So see, they can be both. They don't have to just be happy or sad. They can be right in the middle. They can be a mixture of the two. And that's totally okay. Each season of our lives brings about new changes and things that are important to us. And a lot of that's just based off of things we go through, people we're around, things we're interested in. And the cool thing is that we get to experience all sorts of things because everything's constantly changing. So you always get to try new things are happening, and you learn lots of things along the way, right? Yeah. Well, great. Let's go ahead and look at our final product, okay? You can sit back and look at yours. I've shown this a few times, but here's mine. This is one I did earlier. You can see how this one looks too. See? Got a couple different ones. I added in another one on this one. See? Got that. Awesome. Good job. All right. So fun. Amazing job, everyone. Thank you so much for playing with me today. I encourage you guys to go ahead and do this every once in a while. Anytime you guys see leaves that fall or it's the fall time, pick up some leaves, bring them in the house, and you guys can create some really cool pictures with it, and you can just kind of reflect on some of the things going on in your life. Because sometimes it's really hard when things are changing to know that it's still okay. Change is good. All right, awesome. I had so much fun creating this fun drawing and reflecting on this stuff. But don't forget to join us later today at 5 o'clock for Arts and Crafts with Courtney, okay? All right. Bye, everyone.